folks, John Sakaguchi here. It's been a while since I got to do one of these episodes. I'm 4 hours away from Cal. This time I'm in Ashland, Pennsylvania, here at the Pioneer Tunnel, coal mine and steam train, where I'm going to take a ride on the little narrow gauge line here, but I'm not just riding. And I'm playing engineer today, and hence why I'm dressed the way I am. And so come along for the ride with me and Arian, and as we take a ride on the Loke. The Pioneer Tunnel and steam train was opened as a tourist attraction back in 1962. After the Great Depression, the coal mine that ran there had closed up. When they dug it out, they found all the coal cars and equipment still buried inside. It's been restored to operation. As Arian and I got ready for my ride, it didn't take long for us to spot the Loke, as she made her return trip back from the first run of the day. To me, this was nothing new. With the smell of coal smoke and hearing the sounds of a steam boiler, it took me back to my childhood as my first trip to Strasbourg. Once the first ride was over, it was my turn to take the throttle of the Loke. Once in the cab, Engineer Dan instructed me on how to run the Loke and get this trip started. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the ride as we head through anthracite coal country. Once we got everything settled, it was time to start heading out of Ashland. Heading in reverse to start the trip, I headed through the first level crossing. I learned rather quickly that it didn't take long for the Loke, or in this case, engine number 123 of the Lehigh Valley Coal Company, to pick up speed. So it was a lot of give and take with using that throttle. At this point in time, I felt bad for Arian as she was getting rocked around sitting in the cab with me. It was a bit of a bumpy ride, I will admit that, but it didn't take long for me to figure out how to smooth things out.
This thing will do about like 50 miles an hour top of speed. We never want to do that. No. Get a little brighter.
At this point in time, I realized I was going into my first dip and would have to come out of a turn and into the grade and start climbing out of it to reach the end of the line.
That's the first I've heard that one.
Once at the end of the line, and we had to put water in the boiler. So Engineer Dan instructs me on how to put water in the boiler. Even open up the firebox so we can take a look inside. And
inject a little bit of the water and go back in with what I need to hold.
so
Engineer Dan asked if we had any questions, and of course, I wanted to know more about the Loke and the So, let's take a moment here and ask Engineer Dan a couple of questions.
Loke was actually originally built for the Lehigh Valley Coal Company, ran at Parkway College, and now it's cleaned on the side for about 20 years. This is about its lifespan. And a junkyard neighborhood got it. They found out about it here at the Throttle. The Ashland Rotary Club and Kiwanis donated the money. The junkyard trailer was installed in 62 got stopped. And they 70 trucks donated the money for the purchase. And it's been here ever since 62.
Okay. I'm assuming around here somewhere is where they were dumping like the coal company first off.
Right. So coal would come out of the mine and pull them out here. There was a bank top collar breaker right down on the bank. And then that was that breaker. And that's 4 cars in there.
At this point in time, it was time to shut off the water valves. The boiler was full, and time to head back to Ashland. So come along for the ride as I take us back up the hill into Ashland. So let's see how I do.
Head.
Yeah, a lot better than my first time ever doing that.
Especially for wet track. Most people spin the drive.
Sorry for the bumpy ride, guys. Whoa.
I love the smell of coal smoke in the morning.
Right about there is where we'll start gripping.
Gotcha.
Take a little easy into that, and then off the throttle to that. You don't want to hit the turn too fast.
Gotcha.
And then right at the bottom of the hill, cross the window. Right about here, you start gripping. Out of that hole.
And here comes the fun part, folks. Now, before we got back to the station, Arian and I had to stop for coal. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage of me trying to slow down at the bunker. But I'll say this, it got hot and smoky in the cab real quick during this stop.
I'll tell you what, folks, that was quite the experience, and a lot different from the first time I ever got to do this. If you remember from the intro, the episode, you see me in the cab driving, and I'll say that 123 is a lot different than 126 for a couple of reasons. One, narrow gauge versus standard gauge. Two, when I drove the 126 in North Carolina, I was on flat ground. Here, I had to coordinate with the grade, turns, and a few other factors, but from what I could tell, I think I did pretty good. Even the cruise edit was probably the best ride of the day so far. And I'm only the second guy in. So, the bar's somewhere in the middle, I don't know. But it was definitely a fun ride. But I wish the tunnel was open today, but unfortunately it's not for another couple of weeks. But if you get the chance to come out here to Ashland and check out the Pioneer Tunnel, definitely do it. I'd recommend it. It 5 stars all around. Crew is amazing.
Girlfriend approved.
Yep, girlfriend approved from Arian. And I wish I could see what the tunnel looks like on the inside, but overall, from what I've seen since I got here, it's been a fun experience. So, we're gonna head inside, and then we'll wrap things up. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks everybody from the Pioneer Tunnel and Steam Train for putting on this great event. I had a lot of fun. And if you want to experience it, you can check them out on Facebook at their page, Pioneer Tunnel and Steam Train. There you can find out about all their events, and it's different things going on here in Ashland. And you can also take a ride on the Loke along with the Coal Mine ride. It has a link to their website where you can order your tickets and a lot more information. And then make sure you donate, because every dollar helps with these guys coming. So, may all your signals be green, and I'll see you down the line. And I'll catch you next time, everybody. Take care. All aboard.